Hello all, this is Chris Corsiades with Aqua Agitators, and today I have the pleasure of hosting Ramon, or being hosted by him through the Water MBA. Ramon, hello. Greeting
Hello,
from
Christos.
Amsterdam, how are you?
Thank you, Christos, for having me. It's a great pleasure to be here in your Aqua Agitators crew.
So for the very few people that don't know you already, would you mind introducing yourself and what you're doing?
Yeah, well, I am a civil engineer. I work in Spain since I started my career, 12 years ago. I started in the water business since I left my degree. I started in business development, for a company called Abengoa here in Spain. And then we had the chance, also to be part, of the teams that were doing the engineering and procurement construction of the big desalination plants of Middle East, okay, like Shuaibah 2, expansion, Tawila, the famous one, that is the biggest, I think, RO, desalination in the world. I don't know if there is another now of 1 million. And now 3 years ago, I started to work for a Saudi company, a
Mhm.
Saudi-based company that is called Innovative Water Application Company that belongs to Wetico, okay, as part of the Burayan holding. So the same, we are constructing the water and iconic project in Middle East and North of Africa. So really, it's really challenging, but also very rewardful, the experience of having working with a team that are ranked, one of the top in the world. So for me, it's every day is an adventure, and I'm happy to work also with one of the most important clients in the water business, but in the private capital also. So
Mhm.
that's my daily, and I'm also founded the Water MBA as you know.
So would you mind explaining to us what is Water MBA all about and why did you start this initiative?
Yeah, well, I mean, life, the career is very long, and sometimes you feel, that you need something else, apart from your corporate job. It's like you need to feel, that you are part of something, bigger, than you. So 2 or 3 years ago, I know that I wanted to do something. I didn't know exactly what, but I'm sure that I wanted to feel, as we discussed the other day, Christos, about having a positive impact, and feel it that we do something that is impactful, So I don't know, 1 year ago, I decided like, okay, I've been part of this business a lot of years, and I can share my experience, or bring, or talk to the people, that have experience, and put it in that platform to make it accessible, to most of the people, let's say a professional, breaking down certain barriers, like price or accessibility, thank you now to the digital age. So it's like I started to share my knowledge, and then I felt that on my own it was not going to be enough, so I started to call some friends. Okay, can you join me? And I know that you are the best in this topic, and you share your knowledge, and we put it in the platform. So it started kind of like this. And then obviously this last year has been, insane, for me. It's like I started very slowly, but then fortunately, I think we have around 40 episodes. It's a platform, that you can access like a Netflix, let's say, where you have all the episodes available. And then we are opening, also the features, like the podcast, just to make it accessible, to anybody. We have newsletter. We have obviously our LinkedIn post in order to reach people, and to try in this way that with a long-term mindset, okay, we are able to provide a wide range of view, let's say, of the water industry. Because I don't know, you have more experience than me, but water industry is quite a difficult market to understand, because it's quite highly fragmented, has a lot of different, particularities, in each country is totally different depending on the company. So it's like I felt that in the market I missed, this type of generalist profiles that are able
Mhm.
to see, the whole picture.
So, um, given all the problems of the water industry and the lack, as far as I'm concerned, of necessary number of generalists, how important do you think is right now collaboration and information dissemination?
Well,
And what tools or platforms should we create, I guess, like Water MBA, in order to help each other?
Well, for me, as you know, collaboration is essential. It's like your agitators, for example. It's important to 1 plus 1 is not 2, it's 3. So it's like the way that we have to go forward, And especially now with the AI coming, and this stuff is like people have to connect, have to collaborate. So it's essential, no, that we have platforms, no, like these Aqua Agitators, and to foster debate and to talk each other and to exchange perspective. I think it's the only way in the industry. The Water MBA is going to help, no, in this small area that they can, but I'm sure that more like you, no, and others, no, like Water Positive think Tank and other associations, I have to be, taking the lead, no, worldwide, and also not consolidate also the developed countries, but also these new emerging countries, Africa, South Asia, South America. We need to bring it also to the debate, and to allow also people along the supply chain to expose their experience, no, and the perspective, not only the top CEOs, no, level, no, of the sponsor company, but everybody, no, everybody has value, no, hidden, and we need to our duty now is to find, no, this value and to put it and share with everybody.
Sometimes people closer to the ground have even more value than we
sometimes,
think.
Sometimes.
But when we try to bring people into the conversation, how important do you think is the narrative that we need to put into this effort?
Well, I mean, you mean the narrative that we tell to them, like
around
storytelling?
Around the industry, around water, around collaboration. There needs to be a narrative. But do you think we have it? And if we don't, how on earth do we get there?
Well, it's a complex question. It's like, I mean, for me, the narrative is like, I don't know, water is water, and it will be always here and required for us, as people, no, as human. Water is something that is essential. You can live without energy, you can live without any other things, but water will be always here, no? And we need to get better every day, okay? Because we have realized, you look back at the history, we 100 years ago we solved many problems, no, with the cholera and so on, the disinfection, and now there are new challenges coming, no, like contamination to the ecosystems, availability of water. So it's like we need to work in order to make sure, no, that our core, no, that our life is water. We need to work together for them. So it's like we need to. It's a business that is not going to stop never. So it's like the more that you get and the more that you progress earlier, the better. Okay, so that's my point.
So my question about the narrative essentially is, how do we make water, do you think, into a business case?
Interbusiness case? What do you mean?
We have communicated a lot about the necessity of water, right? But it doesn't seem to get through outside our immediate professional bubble.
It's not visible.
Yeah. So my idea would be, and I think also you mentioned water positive, yeah, that you try essentially to put water as a business case. That if you don't take care of water, then you are running very high risks for your business plan as a corporation, as a business, right? And I think it makes more sense to translate water into money or risk rather than going through the same environmentally friendly methods, yeah, that we're here to save the world or save the water. Yeah, we're here to save essentially to the end clients you and your businesses. What do you think about that?
Well, obviously, for me, water, the money is very important, no? Nowadays in the world, so everything is around money. The point is, I think that the water is also like considered like a human, no, right? No? So it's like very usually handled by the public. So it's like the water is taken for granted, in my opinion. I mean, it's like nobody is aware, no? They here in Spain, it's like everybody take for granted water. They don't care because they don't see anything. They don't see the pipelines that are under the ground. They don't see the wastewater that is hidden, no, for the visual impacts. There is nothing in the TV. The politics is not. The water is not a very great, I think, tool, no, for politics, because investing in there is not visible to them, because the return to the politics votes, I think, is not important. So it's like, I don't know, I think we need to increase the visibility, and the problem is it's only visible when something wrong is happening, like disaster and so on.
Exactly. And the effort to get new water or treat it is also not visible. And we haven't made it visible as an industry to the outsiders. And this is what I'm talking about, with the necessity to create a narrative, to push essentially for more water reuse or best application management in the water industry.
There is
So,
an entity. There is an entity that I like very much, and it's also an advice. Sydney Water in Australia. They have a very good, political of communication and the way that they create videos and news for people understanding, the citizen. Really, it got me an impact that I saw in a few months back, and really, it's one of my favorite in the world to make this narrative. So I advise anyone to follow.
I'll make sure to take a look. So, up to now, you have a long history in the water industry, 12 years already. So, what do you think are the major barriers for the transmission of knowledge throughout the sector?
Well, one barrier for sure is the price. That's clear because we have courses, we have training, but some of them are really expensive. Okay, they are not accessible by, let's say, most of the people. And let's be honest. Okay, here in Spain, for example, the best courses or knowledge platform are rated to 10,000 euros, and it's an investment in significant investment in time also and price over price. For me, it's a barrier. I'm talking about Europe. If you go now to countries, where the acquisition power of the economical, is not the same. So it's very much more difficult. Obviously, for example, in the Water MBA, we have a specific tariff for Africa. Okay, I think we provide 75% because we understand that the price cannot be the same for someone that is in Europe or in US than to South America, South Asia, or Uganda. Okay, so I think it's important to work on price. Obviously, trying to make it everything profitable, obviously, no, because money is the way, that we need to create things and to so on. And another barrier I will maybe is accessibility. Maybe sometimes is now with the digital age, I think we need to have all the tools to provide accessibility worldwide. So I think so far we are getting better. But I think accessibility is also one of the barriers that knowledge is not sharing. And a third point I would say, I'm not that kind of expert, but when I listen to some colleagues in some congress, it's like data exchange is not transparent, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't know if it's a time of privacy or really I don't have the details, but during the last months I've heard this about. I don't have the data exchange platform. We need more interchange data, so it's like something must be there also.
What about transmission of knowledge through collaboration? And as you said, the water industry is a highly fragmented sector.
Very highly.
With a lot of companies or people working in silos. And with all the problems that this brings about naturally.
Correct.
So how do you think we should overcome this?
As I say, if we had a solution, we will be very difficult, I think.
We always talk about it.
Eh?
We can always talk about it and put our theories on the table.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so the question is how we overcome, this. Let's say we foster, the communication between, So, for example, I see, obviously, that we have many forums, For example, World Water Week. We need, to keep, all these forums. And also to multiply the visibility of them. Okay, for example, I like World Water Week because it was accessible by online. So I think that the impact that this type of gathering can bring, to the professional is much more than those forums, that are only private, or get inside only of the people that are attending physically. So that's one point. And another point will be to create, as I said, this kind of collaboration, Aqua Agitators. You made a really good job bringing people from the different industry and, as I said, along the supply chain to talk. And then there must be, leaders, and policymakers that are able to integrate all this, puzzle, and take the decision in order to improve, in my opinion.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, I think the collaboration and transmission of knowledge needs also to be sold to different members of the industry, especially the higher ups, as more opportunities for profits, essentially. The more you know, the more opportunities you create for everybody. And always attending the better part of the human nature doesn't work out, as you might well know. Yeah, you have to hit the right spot. And I'm still trying to understand how on earth we can transmit the message that Knowing more means more jobs for you, more opportunity, more projects incoming. Yeah. And I hope that with initiatives like yours, for example, yeah, as you said, you also bring people from all around the supply chain of the
Yeah.
water industry to tell their opinion online. I think this may work out, and the more we communicate within the bubble, the more I think the stronger we become.
Yeah, and it takes time also that, okay? Because as I said, the water industry is so huge that you need time to interconnect everything, okay? So in 2 or 3 months, you cannot make someone to see, the full business of the full picture. So I think it's a matter of 1, 2, or 3 years that we are able not to bring a significant picture and then to ask questions, to ourselves, as you said, no? And then to try to debate and put things on the table. So I think it's a matter of time and consistent effort along the time. Okay, so I think also that's very important, no? That people like us, no, like you or myself or the friends, no, for water positive, they need to keep this, for 2, 3, 4 years until I think they see the results.
So essentially, what you're saying, I can translate to consistency brings impact.
Yeah, because I
Put
mean,
that, will we put that as a title for the video?
for sure, for sure. I mean, for me, I think it's important, as I said, if you give up, something in 2 months, nothing happens, and nothing of value comes without effort, in my opinion. So I think people need time, okay, like anything else. Like if you want to train, you want to do something to learn something new, you need time. So it's like this communication, and platform, they need to keep very active for the next years, I would say. And then to allow the people to connect their mind, the things, and also to encourage people to give a step further and also to do on their own, activities also. Okay, it's not about 4 or 5 like us, talking. It's like about also each individual is able to do a positive impact around his area when he or she is able to see, the things in their mind.
So, how do we transform leaders in this
I don't,
industry with this mindset? How do we educate and transform people to this desired impact mentality?
there is no answer for that. No, I think, no, just kidding. I mean, for me, leaders are obviously essential, right? Because the leaders are the ones that have the voice, the main voice, and send the message, and is the biggest percentage, of what the professionals are able to listen. So for me, leaders, I mean, the most important is we need to encourage a type of leaders that is transparent, is really working, for the benefit of, obviously of their companies or of the general society. And I think leaders, for me, is very important that they, play an essential role in this type of transmission of the knowledge, like the policymaker, they shape the rules, of our present and also of our future. And here, I think they need to get more kind of anticipation. Okay, so it's in order you need to understand that in 5 or 10 years you need to have something, but you need to act now. Okay, so the consequence is coming when you change something today. Okay, so when you start today doing the change, you will see the result in the future. Okay, so let's say this political aspect, I think we need to try to bring into anticipation and the long term, and not so many short term action. That is true that we see much more common every day, the short term mindset.
It's interesting. It's interesting to see the ongoings in the water sector as politics, right? And what we can do. But I'm not going to ask a controversial question. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. How many directors, higher ups do you see with proper, let's say, water mentality, impact mentality
Yeah,
right
well,
now?
I've seen many of them, to be honest. Some of them are not visible. Okay, so it's like I see them because I work with them. Okay, so it's like it's not something that you can find. It's something because I know from first experience that they are leaders doing the impact, and this is the way of innovation, client orientation, society orientation. They are working that every day. So I know that there are leaders working that are this kind, let's say kind of public, let's say, I don't know, for example, when you read, about the wallet, Corey, from the Salytics, you see the Salytics, the mission, and the purpose that they are doing. that's real, no? Impact and pure impact, no? In Africa. So I think that kind of leaders we need more. And well, and as I said, and I think we create the more that we are, the better ecosystem we will create, and that takes time, basically.
So should we? The thing is that if you want impact and a change of mentality, you also have to showcase the carrot, right? And do you think that we can act proactively in some way to bring a big carrot in front of the companies?
But which carrot? Carrot is the money.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
And what I'm saying is perhaps we should try to move away essentially from the commercial model that we're currently running as an industry, meaning that we fight over who brings the lowest price, yeah, and instead focusing on doing things differently, yeah. And why I'm saying, let's say, bring out the narrative outside of the industry, showcase the value of water, yeah, like show the hidden costs.
But I have two points, no? But this is like, first of all, money. It feels no like it's not flowing, no, to the market as other industries. In my opinion, I don't know exactly the reason for that, but maybe it's not profitable. Maybe it's the more characteristic of the public, no, use, no, in the best percentage. So it's that's obviously a barrier. So if the money is not flowing and we are in a capitalist, stage, so.
I would have to disagree. The money are not flowing to the water industry. It's
Exactly.
flowing everywhere else.
Exactly. Sorry, it was a correction. To the water industry, obviously, as I said, the capitalism is here, no, and the money is a mean, no, to create something. So if it's not flowing, we need to see and to understand, and maybe people more expert than me or than us, no, can do, is why it's not flowing. I think it's not maybe profitable, or I don't know, or there are other things or other industries that are more profitable, so the money goes where there is a carrot, no, as you said, no. So, but the money is the way, no, that we need to create more value in the end. So money has to flow. I don't know how, but it has to flow.
For example, should we think more as business development besides as engineers?
What do you mean?
Like
Sorry.
build stronger business cases for the projects instead of relying on the clients to figure out for themselves.
Everything helps. Everything helps. But as I said, I don't know. I think it has to be an holistic approach. I don't know. It's like, for example, here in Spain, I see very difficult in the next years to change let's say the framework of, bringing private capital to create value. So it's like here in Europe, it feels like, there is a status. As I said, the water is not an issue. You don't feel that it's an issue. It's like you have the 99% availability. You don't get news about emerging contaminants. You don't get news about contamination. So the society is not, the water is not in the daily life. It's very difficult, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, but you still have, for example, in Spain, I do consider still one of the best case scenarios to have a breakthrough with commercial desalination, for example, right? Because you have the needs, yeah, water scarcity. Water consumption is only going up. Yeah. And you have a lot of cases, for example, like you have even cases in Spain that they could potentially need the recovered salts and minerals, yeah, and the water, but they're still not pushing the button.
Maybe yes.
To do it.
Maybe yes, but as I said, I think there is no feeling yet of urgency, and sometimes the political will is like, very short term, and the climate of Mediterranean Sea or the Mediterranean area is like very erratic, no? The pattern is like you can face 2-3 years of dry season, but then suddenly you have 2 years of rain. So what happened? No, when the rains come, the politics forget about it and they don't think on the long term. So I think that climate of the Mediterranean, no, I think is very important, no, that we need to act relative to the water availability with regeneration, reutilization, and obviously desalination as the ultimate solution for covering a stable, no, and reliable source. Okay, so it's true, as you say, Spain, the southeast of Spain is one of the best in Europe, as you know, for innovation and technology, for water reuse and desalination because of the needs that we have.
Quick question about the Mediterranean in general. So I did some calculations recently
Mm-hmm.
and having a very rough idea about the data, I think that even if we do all desalination and water reuse projects that we actually need,
Hmm.
we won't have enough water.
You won't have enough?
Still, I
Hmm.
don't think we will have enough water, and we will have to find alternative sources,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, to couple or alternative technologies to couple with like the conventional creation of water, whether that's called water reuse or desalination. What do you think about that?
Why do you think that is not enough? I mean, if we for the
Even
calculation.
also, given the fact that a lot of water reuse products are needed,
Hmm.
yeah, and a lot of desalination plants are needed.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they happen, when they happen, it will take years,
Okay.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And still, the water consumption is only going to go up
Okay.
because of a variety of reasons. Yeah,
Yeah, population growth, no, or
so we need to find, I think, also alternative sources, alternative technologies to couple, let's say, the gap
Mhm.
that is going to be created. And I'm wondering what this could be.
Exactly what type of other technology? Because for me, I thought, no, or I feel, no, that obviously the reuse and regeneration of the wastewater is essential, no. For me, in Spain, is not commonly used in let's say 100% of the states. Obviously, in the southeast, yes, but that's a big step, to be honest. Okay, so it feels like with the new European regulation, I think in the next 10 or 20 years and 25, we have a significant step. Maybe as you said, I didn't do the calculations. And desalination is true that they will implement, okay, but I think, as you said, very just to with the short term, in my opinion, it's like, okay, just enough to cover an emergency. So if there is still a gap, to be honest, at this moment, I don't know which other technology about.
And I think this is why we need to talk more
Hmm.
and share more information within the industry in order to bring more ideas on the table.
Well, for me, desalination also is an energy problem, no? As you know, so maybe the energy industry will solve water problems in the future. So I don't know, renewable energy, we will find someday, no, that you will have, let's say, free energy, and then you will be able to have endless source, no, of water. So let's see, no, if only water only on its own will not solve anything, but maybe another industry like the energy can help us also.
One can only hope. And last question, so I don't want to take too much of your time today. Um, you do use a lot of different technologies to create, let's say, this interactive experience of sharing the information. Um, how do you think this will progress in the future? Do you think what kind of technologies are you looking at, especially, for example, with AI, to make your life easier as a creator?
In the last year, I used to be a naive, no, person, because when something I thought in the future, I always got short, no, in terms of finding out or nothing's going to happen, this is not going to be a problem. And then the COVID, no, with the mask, my mother bought me a
Mhm.
mask and I said, "Don't worry, this cannot be happening in Europe." And then suddenly it happened, no. But now I feel that I get, less naive. So I have inner feeling that the AI is gonna, I don't know, change the society upside down. Okay, and say I'm usually a naive person. Okay, so it's a feeling that I cannot explain. Okay, it's like I see the potential and the advantage that I can bring also for to reduce the gap also, no, for the lowest is huge, really is huge. And as I said, I've embraced, no, AI tools since 1 year ago, since I started. As I said, no, this recording studio. I'm trying also to open a channel, no, inside of the platform to create to try things, no, for professional, like, okay, I want to reply comment sheet with a drawing, a constructive calculation, let's see what can I do. And we are trying to find out, no, and I think the most important is as a continuous learning, to have the mindset and availability to continuous learn, to embrace and to be willing, no, to learn from others. And you need to embrace AI because I think it's going to disrupt our society. So the more that you use it, the more you stand out in the future also.
Yeah, the AI is here to stay, and we better make sure that we know how to use it to our benefit.
Yeah,
That's for
definitely.
sure.
Definitely.
So, Ramon, thank you very much for taking time out of your agenda today to talk to us. It's much appreciated. Also for hosting us in your online platform. Yeah. I'll definitely be taking a look at your videos, and I'm expecting to see way more in the future. Yeah. I would like to applaud your initiative. It's one of the most interesting I've seen in the last years. Good luck with everything. And we will stay in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
See you soon also in the platform.
And
Bye
take
bye.
care.
Cheers. Bye bye. Thank you.